All right, a reverse mortgage can help you do a lot of things you might not have been able to do before.
Yeah, here to explain reverse mortgages is John Luddy. He is the Senior Vice President of Reverse Lending at Norcom Mortgage. We thank you for being here, sir. I know this is a big topic of conversation often with our parents of should they not, or if they have, how to use it. So thank you for being here.
Big topic with adult children these days,
You're
quite
absolutely
frankly.
right. Yeah.
You know, because of the pandemic, we have a lot of adult children trying to keep their mom and dad at home and out of a convalescent home. And they're using the reverse mortgage to fund that in-house health care.
John,
So it's a big topic for...
I know it was your company that actually helped provide the information that persuaded my mom to go with the reverse mortgage, and it's been a lifeline for her. She's used the money in so many different ways, and she gets to stay in her house, which is awesome.
That's the key. She gets to stay in her house, and she gets to continue to own her home. Because when you take a reverse mortgage, you always own the home. So it's important to remember that. She's not giving up the ownership. And when she meets her final rewards, that home will pass to her heirs.
So how do you use the money? I think people get nervous. Okay, if I do that, then what happens? How am I paid, or how is it helping me?
Well, the reverse mortgage allows the senior to take money from their home without having to make a repayment on a monthly basis. They can if they'd like, because there's no prepayment penalty, but they can take money at the closing to pay off their existing mortgage, and then they can take monthly checks if they need it. They can put money in a line of credit. They can use the money for anything they like. You know, it's their money. They're borrowing it from themselves. So, but a lot of them use it, quite frankly, for that in-house health care, also to help pay their local property taxes. Many, because of the pandemic, many of our seniors have lost their part-time jobs, and they just don't want to go back. I think of just the many school bus drivers that lost their job for a year and said, I don't think I want to go back to that. And they were using that money to maybe pay their taxes, their local property taxes, or maybe just buy their golf ticket at the golf course. So they're using reverse mortgages now to substitute for that loss of income.
Yeah, and John, there are fees associated with this when you first apply, right?
There are fees, although ultimately they're assessed to you at the closing, but you don't really pay them until you sell the house.
Okay.
So at the prior to closing, you need to only prepay for the appraisal and the federal counseling, which is required. Anyone that moves forward with a reverse mortgage has to talk with a federal counselor. They do that over the phone, and just to make sure that we've explained things properly and no one's trying, because we are working with a vulnerable segment of our society.
Yeah.
So we have to have lots of protections, and that's one of them, that federal counseling, and they prepay that. It's typically $125.
Sometimes people will wonder if they do a reverse mortgage, will they not be able to leave the house then to their heirs? Can they still do that?
Absolutely. I mean, that's the first thing we tell them. You always own the home. And if you're fortunate enough to stay until you pass, that home would pass into your estate and would be then willed according to your wishes and typically to your heirs.
Okay.
And what about a reverse mortgage in the age of silver divorces?
We've all been, kind of rattled about the silver divorce of the poor Gates family and, the dividing of those assets. Well, we see that here in Connecticut, where people are getting divorced at a later age. And sometimes it's difficult to divide the assets, and a reverse mortgage can help one of the married partners perhaps keep the family home, which is usually the center and the soul of the family. They want to keep that. And so they use a reverse mortgage to access the equity to pay the other partner. And we're seeing more and more of those silver divorces. And in the age of the Gateses, I guess we're becoming more and more aware of it.
And John, it's good to go with a reputable company like Norcom. You're family owned. You've been around since 1989. You're in the game. You're in it to win it and help the customers here in Connecticut.
We're in it to win it. We try to do all of our appointments in person if our seniors are allowed. You can see I've been vaccinated.
That's
And
great.
sometimes we do them through Zoom. Sometimes we mail them, but we prefer to do it face to face, just so we can see our clients absorb the information. Many times it's with adult children around the table, so that it's a very complicated transaction to do through the mail and over the phone.
Right.
So we prefer, because we are local, to come to the home and explain it to all the family members.
Okay.
Okay, and also, if you have quickly, can you use a reverse mortgage to purchase a home?
Absolutely. We're seeing many seniors what we call right siding. They might be leaving their home that's, up and down, going on one level. And today prices are high.
Yeah.
And a lot of times they either don't want to have a monthly mortgage payment, but they don't have enough money to pay cash for that home, or they don't want to take all of their resources from their portfolio. Financial planners love the program because it allows them to borrow money without having to make a repayment and not destroy their other portfolio plans that they've had in place for years.
John, thank you so much. And to learn more, people can visit norcomreverse.com.
All right, norcomreverse.com. Thank you, John. Have a great day.